Okay, I'm black again. What? Yup. CCTV, public access television, BrotherRA, the brother with something to say. We're going to continue with what black men think after we deal with some issues. Last week I was dealing with the Massachusetts state flag and how I think it's racist or offensive to have a melanin dominant individual or a black man on the mat. Is it Massachusetts or Master-chusetts? So you're going to make fun of the red man after you stole his land, and then you're going to put his ass on your fucking flag. Well, BrotherRA says, why don't we go ahead and use this character or this particular image on a BrotherRA flag. Here you go. Here's the BrotherRA flag icon from the movie 7 Second with Wesley Snipes. And I hope I don't get booted off of the air or off of YouTube for airing this short little clip, just a short little piece, just to give you a little flavor. And I don't know how I would get this on a flag, but this should be the BrotherRA icon, and here you go. You got it? And let's hit play.
Now, where is Tulver? Who does he trust?
I don't know.
Spanky!
Right there. There you go. Man, shivering and shaking. Like I said last week, we was talking about, Spanky. Like, yeah, use that guy on the BrotherRA flag. Yeah, him right there. Okay, he went into a seizure and started shooting up the whole room. But, okay, so that's that. And now, would that be racist or offensive to have an autistic or that type of melanin, recessive, inbred, mutant, albino with the calcified pineal gland waving on the BrotherRA flag, just like you have the melanin dominant red man, you stole his land, and now you have all these holidays, and okay, you get the point. Okay, let's move on. I don't have time to elaborate on so many different issues and so on and so forth, because we wish to move back to what black men think. And do black men think? Do we have the reputation of being aware or conscious? And let's see if we can go ahead and begin that segment again. But before, as that cues up, I do believe last week I read righting, righting the wrong, and that was page 300 from the Tao, and hopefully I'll get to reading Oneness.
And the bottom line is money.
Oops.
Everybody wants to study what's wrong with their brother. I mean, if you look at any culture, any society, any individual, they have their own unique problem. I mean, do anybody find anybody doing a study on these white men in the Catholic Church and why many of them are pedophiles?
Out of all the ethnic groups Black people, and especially black men, are the most
analyzed, arranged, and assessed.
Assorted, baseline, cataloged,
Categorized, classified, characterized.
Sliced, diced, and divided.
Dissected, evaluated, and examined.
Focused upon, fixated on, and extrapolated.
Investigated, indexed, and inspected. Juggled, judged, and labeled.
measured, numbered, and ordered.
Prodded, probed, and questioned.
Quiz, ranked, and researched.
Sifted, separated, and skimmed.
Sorted, studied, and surveyed.
Totaled, tabulated, and tattooed.
Typified, viewed, and watched. Queried, zoned, and zoomed.
When was the last time there was a positive stat given out about black men by the media? Wait, I can tell you why, if you really want to know.
Okay.
There's no money in it.
Do you see anybody doing a study why anytime a child is abducted, a little girl is abducted from a family, that the majority of these people are white, the majority of the serial killers are white? Why don't they do studies on this? They continue to dumb down the brother. And the sad part is that there are so many brothers out there that begin to believe this and act accordingly to the stereotypes.
We go from Negro to Black to African American. Is there any wonder why we don't know who the hell we are these days? There's a label that gets put on us every 10, 15 years. It's something different. It confuses everybody in our culture.
The black women don't know who we are as well. That they don't know that, you know, we're not the abusive, dropping out of high school, selling drugs, going to jail, pimping, drinking, raping, chasing white women, down lowing. That's not what we look like. Those are the phrase or the extremes of our behaviors.
At the top of it, they say, well, I can't find a man because they're with other men. Down low.
Explain to me, what is the DL?
The DL brother is a brother that is homosexual behind curtains.
When people looking at it, it's like, oh, I think he's straight, he's heterosexual, he talks to women, but like secretly he really is interested in men, but he just don't want people to know. When a guy claims or try to act as though he's not gay, but reality is,
It stands for down low. And it's when guys are like either homosexual or bisexual and they are not out and open about it.
it's supposed to be a heterosexual male, has like a girlfriend but messes with a man but doesn't consider himself gay.
When like black men, not black men, but like African American men, where it's like they're in a relationship with a woman, but on the side they'll have like relations with men, like sexual relationships with men.
So if you had 10 black men, and I'm just talking about like from here, all over the country, of those 10, how many of them would you say are gay, bisexual, or homosexual?
Maybe like 2. Out of 10, I believe 6. Total of 3?
I say 2. 3 or 4. At least 4 to 6.
5. 3. 5 of them on the DL. So about 6. I do 10. I say at least 6 or 7 out of 10. Yeah. 6 or 7 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Okay, let's pause it right there and read this for you. AIDS is the #1 cause of death for African Americans between the ages of 25 and 44. That is startling. Today you're going to hear many reasons why AIDS is on the rise again. And here's a shocker. It's one of the big reasons why so many women are getting AIDS. Their husbands and boyfriends are having secret sex with other men. Okay. Lifestyle even has a name. It's called living on the down low. National talk show host, April 16th, 2004. What year is this? 2019? And let's make sure we know, not only in 2019, But yeah, it's April 24th. Take that.
Black America, can we talk? Because this is it. This is your DL person. Look complicated? Because it is. See, they are way smarter than to just come right out and try to tell you that this person, this DL phenomena, is the #1 reason behind AIDS being the #1 killer of black women between 25 and 34. They won't be that irresponsible. What they do is take pieces, snapshots, put them all together and set them up into this one dark, shadowy figure that's scaring the snot out of all of you. And it really is the convergence of pretty much every negative stereotype you want to hear about black men. From infidelity to jail, homosexuality, high-risk behaviors. Put it all together and you get this guy. The non-disclosing MSMW, or the man who has sex with men and women. Last summer, which didn't make the headlines, Dr. Gregorio Millet, Dr. Dave J. Malebranche did a meta-analysis of a bunch of studies and found out what does the behaviors look like in this person, this monster. What he looks like? He's probably practicing more safe sex than you are. But that doesn't sell newspapers. That doesn't get you talking around the water cooler. That doesn't get you calling into talk shows. Now, I'm not saying that he doesn't exist. I'm not even endorsing or condoning his behaviors. What I am saying is I think you've misplaced your priorities as it relates to this whole discussion. You need to know this. You need to do the research. You need to find out the truth about us. Because if you don't, they're going to keep giving it to you. And you're going to keep fighting. And they're going to keep selling stuff.
You know, when we fight amongst each other, then all we do is just feed into the frenzy of the media. You know, whether it be the magazine outlets or the television shows, whatever it is that we are excited about, animated about, the topic of the month, then they just take it and they go with it because they know they can make a lot of money off of it. And that's what it's about in its simplest form, is money, getting paid.
The real DL, cumulative through 2004, 36% of AIDS cases in black women were from injection drug use only, and only 13% were transmitted via high-risk sex with a known injection drug user. 2004 Center for Disease Control of Female AIDS Cases. I want to make sure we put that information out there. In 2004, in 2019, and what's your impression of a black motherfucker?
They say, I can't find a man because they're chasing white women. Oh, we sure do love them white girls.
Yes, sir.
Black women of every age group and marital status and socioeconomic status were interested in this topic when they heard about it.
Of 100 black men who get married, what percent of them marry white women?
I would say about 30%.
20%.
I'd say good 25.
I think it's more than 25%.
About 26. Oh, I would only say about 30%.
You want to retract that 80%, please?
Yes, 30%.
I think it would be unfair to characterize the current trends or rates as an explosion, because I do believe that there is certainly an increase, but it is not an increase that's kind of moving up by leaps and bounds.
So we're going to go to the Board of Education and get a quick lesson on interracial marriage and what do the numbers truly represent. So if you take a quick look at what the total number of black men who marry total number of white women, because that's where it seems to be most of the confusion or the hyperbole, we want to take a look at the growth over, say, the past 20 years. So in 1980, take a quick look, there's 122,000 black men who married white women. In 2006, there were 237,000. But if you hear the media, it's, oh my God, the world is over with. The number has doubled. Interracial marriage is exploding and it's going crazy. What you really need to look at, as we ask the questions in the questionnaire, is basically the total number of black men as a percent that marry white women. Oh, so look at 100 black men, and how many of those marry white women? If you look at 1980, it's about 3.06, I believe. And then if you move up to 2006, it's about 5.3 or 6.4. So really, 5 out of 100 black men who get married marry white women.
But I think it's also important to note that another factor is the extent to which the outside forces also encourage black men to find women who are not black really, really attractive. This is this is the media. This is the media that sells us on what we should think of as attractive and what a viable relationship should look like.
There are people and principalities that have a vested interest in and are compensated to misinform us so that they can mismanage us.
What percentage of black men pay their court-ordered child support?
40.
20%.
42.
I say about 40.
17%.
15.
I concur with that. Who is what?
What percent of black men have a high school diploma or GED?
25%.
About 45%.
I would say maybe about 35%.
I would say 30%.
Probably 11%.
Who earns more money, black men or black women?
Black women. Black women.
Black woman.
Black women.
Black women.
Black women. Are you ready? Ready? You want to go down the list?
Go ahead, man.
Guaranteed I'll get you. 100%.
This ain't Jeffrey. I'm supposed to be God.
That's a percent. Who enrolls in college more, black men or white men?
White men.
More black men in jail or in college?
Jail. I ain't buying that one. I don't care what he say.
You don't care, but I'm going to tell you what it is.
Go ahead.
As a percent, who does not get a high school diploma or GED? More. Not the number, just the percent. Black men or black women?
Who don't get a high school diploma or whatever? I say black men.
Okay, stop the camera right there. Hold on, right. This is important, because this is what we look like to you. 30% of us go to jail. 30% of us graduate high school. 30% of us marry white women. 30% of us pay our child support. And 30% of us are homosexual, bisexual on the down low. Okay, I get it now. This is why people are walking around saying there are no good black men. It makes perfect sense to me now if this is what you believe. Oprah can come on with a statistic saying 70% of black women are single, and you go, yeah, that makes sense. That's because you don't ask the right question. The question you really need to ask is, how many black women have never been married? But see, there's an implied game behind that question. Again, like I told you, if they get you to buy into the problem, then you have to purchase the solution.
What's the number one killer of black people?
Number one killer of black people is homicides.
Some heart-related disease.
Heart disease and high blood pressure.
High blood pressure.
Heart attack.
Cancer.
Cancer. Cancer? Cancer.
Smoking or AIDS?
HIV.
HIV, AIDS.
HIV, AIDS.
HIV, AIDS.
AIDS.
AIDS. AIDS. AIDS. AIDS.
AIDS.
AIDS.
I'd probably say AIDS.
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 Black people. Get your answer. Hold on for a second. Black people.
Themselves. Ourselves.
Each other.
Guns.
Guns? Murder?
I was saying murder.
Violence?
Right.
Drugs is the number one killer of black people.
Most people say it's alcohol.
As you said to me earlier, and as Bill Cosby has said, there are people who make money mismanaging you. So that if you don't get it for yourself, they're not going to tell you.
Pay attention.
This will be my last testament to the fact that the war that has been waged since 1964 has been lost. As you sit there pondering the question, in the deepest recesses of your mind, you cannot even fathom the answer. The marketing execs, the ad agencies, the governmental entities, and your own internal black leadership has won the battle for your conscious and subconscious mind. They know by appealing to your vanity, idolizing your ego, and catering to your own self-indulgences that the #1 killer of black people will always evade your psyche.
Wake the fuck up! God damn it! Pay attention! Oh, god damn! I need that to lay on the screen for a little bit longer. Let's see that again. Oh, no, don't do that. Okay, I went too far. Where are we going now? Now, can we get that back so you all can see the numbers? Abortion! Damn! 2003, African American deaths based on your year-end data available from the U.S. Center for Disease Control 2003. It's 2019. Diabetes, 13,000, what is that? Yeah. Diabetes is close to 13,000. Stroke is 18,000. Cancer, 62,000. Heart disease, 77,000. But abortion, 363,024.
I think the crazy part is that if you're going to argue pro-choice and pro-life, then you've been hoodwinked and bamboozled, just like Malcolm said. What you need to be concerned about is the fact that if it's not killing black people, why is the CDC tracking this?
It is keeping right in step, in tune with the vision of Margaret Sanger to control the growth of African Americans, to stymie the growth of African Americans, and to hopefully begin to cause our numbers to decrease.
Because that people whose job it is to make sure you don't get ahead.
If you don't get it for yourself, they're not going to tell you.
When are you gonna wake up?
Wake the fuck up! God damn it! Dumbass nigga!
I applaud this covenant. But it demonstrates our impotence.
Ooh.
Because in many of the chapters it keeps going back to not only what we do, but really we start looking to the same liar that has continued to promise but never fulfill.
Ooh.
How long are you gonna hope in their promise rather than hope in yourself and God's ability to help you to help yourself?
Fuck that! Believe in your motherfucking black ass, dumb niggas! Believe me, I'm still looking for the mother of my motherfucking children at 57 fucking years old! Trying to find a woman to think, because it's not illegal yet. Or is it? Have we been brainwashed, hoodwinked, terminated? Ha ha ha! Yeah, uh-huh. What do you think of my black ass? Oh yes, I'm gay. I take it up the rectum, I like it like that. Your impression of me and who the fuck I am. Oh no, he's too harsh. He's too rude. He has no couth. Oh no, he's a nigger. He uses the word nigger. Fuck you, bitch. Look. It's more about, here, let me even go into reading some consciousness. I'm going to get back to that. I'm talking about Tai Chi is a spiritual exercise. And didn't I read here that if a deviation of a hair's breadth at the center leads to an error of 100 miles at the rim? When the effort is so slight, why should you hesitate to set things straight or set things right? Do we have maturity? Do we understand meditation and movement is possibly a spiritual exercise or exercise of spiritual development? Tapping in to all of your meridians, tapping in to allowing the chi or the internal energy you rooted and grounded into the center of the core of the earth, and allowing the sun's rays and the starlights to descend into your energies. Of the earth's energies rise up, and you have a balance of all of the elements. Fire, no, they don't list air because fire and air, they're needed, you know? So there's fire, wood, fire burns the wood, water, soil or earth, and metal. Those 5 elements. Do you have a particular balance of that chi or that energy within your divinity? And are you worried? Doubtful? Oh, you question yourself? What does the media do? Oh no, RA can't be talking reality. That's bullshit. I can't believe in me. I'm a nigga. I was born a slave. I'm gonna believe in what Master teach me and tell me. Yes, sir. Right away. Oh, don't you say that. Then the white man won't give us no more dead fucking slaveholders. Don't you say that. We need the white man's money. Shut up, all right, okay. So, spiritual development. I wish to get to read some more Tao, but I need to shut up. Let's go back to...
But to hope in the government is hopeless.
Hope in the government is hopeless.
Thank you, Mr. Farrakhan, for introducing what would have been the government section of this film. Unfortunately, because of the complexities, the intricacies, the web that has been weaved down about 10 miles from here, how they convince you that you need them more than they need you, it would take about 4 movies to try to explain that game. So, with that, I'll give you one quick example of what this game looks like, and then we'll move on. FICA. Those 4 little letters, the ones that hit your paycheck every 2 weeks. It was based upon the Social Security Act of 1935, with benefits to be paid out at the age of 65. The question that you should ask, and we should have asked back then, is what was the life expectancy of a black man? I'll wait.
Wasn't 60, yeah,
Without further ado,
51.
I'm going to introduce you to another brother.
I'm beyond 51.
Y'all should buy my CD because I used to sell crack. Y'all should buy my CD because I got shot 3 times at a 3 to 9 and all that. See, there's a market for niggas.
There's a market for niggas that target figures that purchase $100,000 jewelry. And $200,000 automobiles don't fool me. I know pain when I see it. And he would probably give it all away if he hadn't signed his life away just to realize that $1 million was a small price for them to pay for his dignity. And I suppose if I earned $100,000 a show that had already been spent on security, entourage, groupies, and blow, it wouldn't be so sweet. And I hope dead President Talib Kweli realized that it's not that black people don't like positivity, it's simply that we often don't have the disposable income to purchase tons of CDs. But little rich white kids buy CDs 10 at a time. And the more ignorant the nigga, the more they get to piss off their mom. So if the song calls his mother or sister a bitch or says he's willing to kill his brother in order to get rich, it just makes it even better. The bigger the monkey, the bigger the money. Just throw cash at her, watch her take off her dress. Just throw cash at him, watch him expose his chest. Somewhere, y'all, right now there's a prostitute sniffing blow in order to take her mind off of how she earns her living. Somewhere, y'all, right now there's a rapper sniffing blow in order to take his mind off of how he earns his living. But there's a market for niggas, and spoken word is the shit. But homes don't buy big homes, and homes don't light up wrists. And it might be nice to make all y'all jealous of my bank account, but what's more important is that my mother's respect is priceless. And it used to be back in the days you could cover your face with black face and red lipstick, and black people would hate you, but would surely get rich. Just take a picture poking out your lips, eating watermelon. I would guarantee your show is selling. But nowadays, if you're effectively rapping about gun clapping other black men, say no more, nigga. You platinum with half a dozen racist billionaires willing to back him. Y'all tell me how that's any different than back then. The more he shows his drawers, the more he gets applause, and he's willing to play the role of society's savage. Then society will make him a star, cause there's a market for niggas. Just write some bullshit. There's money to be made in convincing black people that Jill Scott does not exist. Cause if a young girl knows she's golden, she won't allow herself to be called no bitch. And it's only common sense that if you take away her self-confidence, she'll believe that dropping it like it's hot for a soldier is an accomplishment. And if it'll increase a young man's chances of going to jail, they'll promote it. I guarantee everybody right now, $1,000, your record of sale as long as it sounds like Willie Lynch wrote it. Just focus on being a stereotype, like you wake up every morning just dying to fight, just snapping pictures of stacking riches and clapping triggers and smacking bitches. You want to get this started? Fuck your pride, nigga. Just act retarded. You think I'm playing? As long as white folk got money, there's a market for niggas.
Damn.
When was the last time you saw a positive black role model on TV?
Well, I think a lot of the images we see of the black man, a lot of them are negative, not just from shows, but the ones that are promoted, the gangster rap that's promoted.
When you really look at the stereotypes and negative typecasting of African Americans, poverty, violence, drugs, alcoholism, the down low, all kinds of freaky and dysfunctional kinds of things that black men have been tagged with, no matter what age or income or class grouping. I think first and foremost, these images are driven by the media.
And that we are in a kind of position where we'll do things to sell out for money. That is, we want to be successful. So as long as saying certain types of things, behaving in certain stereotypic ways sells and pushes these people into celebrity status, then we're flooded with those types of images.
We have a culture that is about minstrels, about stereotyping black people as silly, lots of use of the N-word, sexually indiscriminate, unable to hold a family together. These are such, and they just bombard you about black people.
So basically, we're getting fed out of negative stuff. We're getting the media's feeding us the negative stuff. You know, if it bleeds, it leads, yada yada.
All of that is predictable. And unfortunately, a lot of it is connected to some very seductive language. It's connected to a very easy emotion, which is anger. And it is now set to some extremely catchy beats and called hip hop.
And then, if you're not going to be a minstrel, you can be a criminal. You can be a criminal, or you can be, you know, the ultimate criminal, a gangster, Big G. And Big G is a black man, has got to have a lot of attitude. He's got to dress like he's ready to commit a crime, you know, either a big puffy coat with a gun underneath.
Historically, if you're going to get paid, if someone's going to pay you, you'll do what they want. You'll get some black person to do it. If you need someone to play in that Uncle Tom wrote like Step and Fetch It, someone will do that, and they'll even rationalize that it's a good thing to do.
Nelly, P. Diddy, Snoop Dogg, all of those men who are very intelligent. For the first time, and I include Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle was, he said he thought he was making satire when he was doing the Dave Chappelle show, but then he realized that it wasn't satire, that in fact what was going on was people were not laughing with him, people were laughing at him.
How have we come so late and lonely to this place?
Chris Tucker, Fifth Element. Martin, hell no.
Vin Rames. Damn. Academy Award-winning actor, Cuba Gooding Jr. I know we can do better than this.
Tyler Perry. Let's keep her in the retirement home.
Jamie Foxx. You better be lying.
Wesley Snipes. Come on, player.
Okay, we get it. A black man dressed up as an overweight black woman in drag is funny. How many more movies do you think you have to make in order to prove that point? And with the status of black men's images today, as tainted and tarnished and maligned as our images are today, you could really do us all a favor. The next time one of those scripts come across your desk calling for you to wear a dress, burn it.
When we talk about the media, as you know, it has a dominant effect on the thinking of all in society. We read, but more importantly, we watch in terms of TV. And what do we see? If we see all these negative images reinforced, well, it's driven very deep in the psyche. And I'm not just talking about white America. I'm talking about black America, Latino America, Asian America, any America, and those that aren't even in America.
There are quite a lot of B movies or hip-hop songs where black people, Afro-Americans, are portrayed as gangsters, are portrayed as criminals, and some people here in Germany, they take it for real.
You're all from the Virgin Islands?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you might not know about America out there. In America, are there more black men in jail or in college?
In jail.
What your mama tell you?
What?
Don't believe everything you hear, read, or see. Do your own investigation.
Oh, no, see, the media is only he's only doing what we give them. If we don't give them nothing, they can't make up nothing. A made up story is stick out like a 12-time mute. If you made a story, you twitch your mouth on the break.
Just to say that, just finger point, put the blame totally on the media. Yes, it's done irreparable damage in terms of perpetuating the worst of the worst, the most vicious and vile stereotypes about black men. But, like anything else, even within a stereotype, it's not going to fly unless there's some kernel of truth there.
That's the biggest myth in the world, that we're the people that are targeted, we're the people that everyone's trying to get. We're just the people that's always fucking up and doing shit ass backwards. That's all it really is.
It's more important to know the lyrics to the latest rap song than to understand what it is the teacher's teaching you. And so somewhere along the way, entertainment became the hallmark of strength as opposed to education. That's a problem.
Rap dialogue is said to be the language of the street. Well, what street could such hatred and malevolent vitriol be accepted as commonplace? But the idea that it's urgent, the idea that you would write a whole book about Tupac and call him a ghetto saint, for example, the idea that he is more important to our young people now than Martin Luther King, and he is. You can say just the syllables, Tupac, in a room full of very smart, poised black people 30 or under, and there will be a hush as if you said God.
You following a rapper who himself said, man, I was wrong when I wrote those songs.
Yeah.
I created a bad situation for myself and my community. Even himself said it, and you gonna try and find the worth in those statements.
The fact that that person and the life that he led and the message of a lot of his music has that iconic status makes me a little uncomfortable, because it seems like we have given into this idea that just anger for its own sake, not channeled into anything constructive, is civil rights, is a racial identity, is urgent, is somehow a message that is deeper than anything else anybody gives us.
Let me tell you what we love responding to. Sensationalism. 397 people shot and killed in the city of Philadelphia, over 90% of whom are African American. Over 94%, almost 100% of them killed by other black people.
We have had, not only in Baltimore, but in Philadelphia and in New York, record homicide rates, almost all black on black crime.
Let one white Philadelphia police officer fire a shot in the direction of one of us. Let him pull out a pistol. Let him throw some gum at somebody. Oh man, we'll take, even though you got a black mayor in the city.
Yeah. It's too easy. Getting mad is easy. If you're an actor, one of the easiest emotions to portray is anger. And everybody is being told that the way we're going to overcome further is just by having a tantrum.
When you're angry like that, whoever caused you to become angry can also control you. Whoever caused you to become angry can also control you, And so that's why whenever Jackson and others want to get an extra paycheck, they cry racism, and black people go into an automatic trance and follow whatever these guys ask them to do. White people run for the hills. White people run for the hills. Run for the hills.
You don't see Al Sharpton say, hey, wait a minute, why are black men, by and large, killing black men like this? What is going on?
So I watched the basketball game last night between a little bit of Rutgers and Tennessee, the women's final.
They cry racism, and black people go into an automatic trance.
Imus must go, and Rosenberg too.
Imus must go, Rosenberg too. Mr. Imus has apologized before. He has a long record of this. What would make this any different than before?
The so-called civil rights leaders have used the civil rights movement. They took something good and turned it into evil.
Imus must go, and Rosenberg too.
Imus must go, Rosenberg too.
They're free to keep them on, and we're free to boycott, and we're going to do just that unless there's a change.
Dr. King said, for example, that we shouldn't hate our enemies, but love them, overcome evil with good.
Imus must go, and Rosenberg too.
Imus must go, Rosenberg too. I think that Mr. Imus should be removed.
And he didn't mean that they should control us. He meant that we shouldn't hate them so that they wouldn't control us.
Imus must go, and Rosenberg too.
Imus must go, Rosenberg too.
And that's why the media plays up Jackson, plays up Sharpton as if they have a Rolodex that stops with 2 black people.
The way that we have to begin to rethink is to pull back from our constant protesting and demanding of things from the larger society, because all we're going to get from them is junk.
Don Imus, the same person that half of black America probably had never even heard of until that same media, until that same structure.
I don't know still who that
so that we
motherfucker
can
is.
wag our tail and celebrate. The question is, celebrate what? Show me one black person who is in a better position today than they were prior to or in conjunction with Don Imus being fired. And the crazy thing of it is, sitting around watching you carrying signs protesting in front of NBC, this is what they showed on television that same week. My point is, if you're going to protest racism, you are going to be employed for life. If your business card says, I am to end racism in America, you will have a job until Christ comes back.
So my point is that racism is there, but it no longer stunts our life. There is no longer an excuse for not doing well in American society.
They don't know that racism exists in all communities, with all races. But blacks have been told that they can't be a racist because they don't own anything.
But you will run into discrimination, though I can tell you from someone who grew up in segregation, you got to hunt it out now because it's not there on anywhere near the level it once was.
That's another setup so they don't look at themselves. When you resent a person, you discriminate against them in ways that you never imagined, even in your own family.
Are you going to wait for the world to be pure of racism before you take charge of your life and make something of it, you'll be a loser forever.
And that's what racism is to hate your fellow man. You know, and you can't help but discriminate against them. This is why blacks don't get along, because we have all this anger, and you're not going to get along with anybody, not even yourself, when you have that kind of anger, because it's not anything, it's not of good.
We are in control of our destiny, no matter how much racism may still exist, how much it may have existed in the past. If we were to take racism and slavery and segregation and de jure segregation from America and just wipe it clean, if that never exists, many of the problems today would still exist.
A woman was asking about this whole thing with marriage, and she started talking about, well, slavery and Jim Crow and how racism had beat men down and they left their families. And I said, you know, that's just not factually correct.
Because once you have a breakdown in the family, if you look at this country, whether you look at any family that keep the household together, whether it's the Jews or whomever, when you keep the family together, the father and the mother, no matter what forces are outside of you, they cannot crumble the infrastructure of your home.
I don't know what else to tell you. It's just not factually correct. During slavery, even as families were broken up and separated, there was a higher rate of marriage during slavery than there is in the black community today.
You put into play a sequence of patterns that again take us to a place lower than we ever got to in slavery. And so many of those people we have to accept are lost.
There may be some things against you, but there was much more against your mother and your father, and so on, and your grandma and grandpa than is against you. And that's a misperception in terms of all the opportunity that's out there that's never been out there before.
A young adolescent male without a father, that's about as dangerous a human being as you can find, because morality will not have been, they won't have absorbed it.
A pastor friend of mine from Long Island said his greatest problem with his young people in church was not illicit sexual affairs or inappropriate behavior as such. It was purposefully failing in school because they did not want to be considered white. But yeah, that goes back to 1966.
When someone says to you, as you're striving to be the best, whether it's in school or on the job, man, you're acting white. You don't even know who you are. You forget where you came from, and you're trying to be better than somebody. You think, wait a minute, why is it that if I'm trying to be my best, I'm not black?
Okay. But the whole thing of what do you think you're white, that starts with afros and Stokely Carmichael. That starts when the whole idea of being black is to rebel against whiteness.
Do you think white people are out here spending all their time, their children spending time protesting and so forth? No.
How many years of devolvement does it take where people are telling you that you are less than and you're not equal to, for you to say, I'm not going to be like a white guy and get a good education, I'm purposefully going to fail?
In technical psychological terms, it means they don't have much of the superego. It means they don't have the part of themselves that is a checkmate, that says, that really enforces right and wrong and tells them what limits are. They don't have.
Okay, so I got about 10 minutes left, and I'm gonna go ahead and read Oneness. But please note, I am nothing but an ignorance killer. Black or white or whatever, I understand I'm melanin dominant. Whoever I find to be the mother of my children, the child will be black or melanin dominant with a liquid pineal gland. But in finding the mother of my children, I'm hoping that she's willing to prepare her body for conception. That means she and I spend 6 to 8, 12 months over the next year preparing our bodies for conception. Now, self-esteem and self-confidence. Can I find a melanin-dominant black woman who doesn't blonde her hair, that has thin thighs and takes care of her health, and not worried about, oh my God, my hair's not done. I have my nigger naps. Oh my God, I'm not going out without my hair done. No. Oh my God, I gotta put on a hat. My hair's not done. Shave your head bald. Where's your self-esteem and self-confidence, melanin-dominant black women? I'm acknowledging more melanin recessive, inbred, mutant, albino with a calcified pineal gland. White women have more self-esteem and self-confidence because of the media they ingest. And he just discussed, well, there's a civil war within the community. But, okay, I'm looking for the mother of my child, and I'm sharing that knowledge, and I'm going to go ahead and share. I'm nothing but an ignorance killer. I'm sharing knowledge. The task is to know how to go against the doctrine in a way that fulfills the spirit of the doctrine. It is only at that point that one matures as a follower of Tao. Now, oneness. If I can get to page 301, we read last week writing, I'm almost tempted to read it again, but y'all need to just watch last week's show. Take that, BrotherRA.com. Now, let's read oneness and then read doubt and fear if we have time. But oneness, page 301 in the Tao. If I break down the walls, I will be surrounded by the garden. If I break the levee, water will inundate me. Meditation is not to be separated from life. The task of following Tao is to cease all distinctions between the self and the outside world. It is only a matter of convenience that we label things inside and outside, subjective and objective. Indeed, it is only at elementary stages that we should talk of a Tao to follow. For true enlightenment is the realization not that there is a Tao to follow, but that we ourselves are Tao. I just want to cry. You fucking idiots. Damn. Why have we been so... The point, I will continue, that understanding comes after a simple breaking down of a wall, a shattering of the mistaken notion that there is something inherent in this life that divides us from Tao. Once the wall is broken, we are inundated by Tao. We, oneness, that's what I'm reading, we, you and me, are Tao. Or better yet, we are Tao. Do we continue to meditate once we come to this understanding? We still do, but it is no longer a solitary or isolated activity. It is a part of life, as natural as breathing. When you can bring yourself to the understanding that there is no difference between you and Tao, and that there is no difference between meditation and ordinary activities, then you are well on your way to becoming or to being one with Tao. Stages. I get 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes. Unless you are pious, you cannot gain a foothold in Tao. Unless you go beyond rules, you haven't gained the middle. Unless you can be creative, you aren't traversing Tao. Unless the road always stretches out before you, you are not walking the true Tao. When people start on a spiritual path, they are anxious to learn all the rules. This is understandable, even necessary. Often we need stern measures to set ourselves right. But dogmatism is not spirituality. All right, I'm going to end there. We'll try to pick up with stages next week. I've been your host, BrotherRA, the brother with too much to say each and every